Today's Monday, Chapter 3. Here we go. Today we're going to go over two paintings by one artist, Roy Fox Lichtenstein. And he was a pop artist, and he studied with Andy Warhol and all the abstract boys, Gordy. He admired Picasso. He tried to visit Picasso when he was in Paris, when he was in the army. I think he failed to meet with him, but he always admired Picasso for his art and his success in art. So the first page is the 1957 abstract and 1956 self-portrait by Lichtenstein. That was a little write-up I had on portraits on Maine. The next beautiful color photo is a color photo of the two paintings side by side. The abstract, of course, on the left, and the self-portrait on the right. So you'll get a separate report on each one of them as we continue. The next is a write-up of the abstract that I put on Portraits on Maine. It's a little write-up. I purchased it from a local art dealer. Name was Sam. He said he had purchased this painting out of Columbia, South Carolina, and he thinks it came out of New York. He brought it in my office here in Cramerton. I looked at it. I looked at the lower left corner. I knew he was going to bring an abstract painting. I'd already looked up the signature, and of all things, I saw a signature untouched on the lower left-hand side. So I purchased the painting. I'm guessing, if I had to guess, I paid somewhere around $700 or $800. This is a nice color photo, detail close-up of the lower left corner, and you will see it is as a fancy Roy and Lichtenstein signature. This signature was sent to the Lichtenstein Foundation in New York. Their director, Mr. Cowart, I think was his name, he liked it. I carried the painting to New York, left it with them for a week. Of course, without the provenance, they can't approve anything. The secretary thought the signature was added on, which she's wrong. The painting is untouched, unclean, no in painting, all original, untouched, and we left it with the Lichtenstein Foundation. They wouldn't approve it. They wouldn't turn it down. Either way, and so we just left it out there dangling. So that's where it is today with them, and it will never be approved due to the fact that we don't have all the provenance. The next photo is a detailed close-up photo, a little bit closer where you can see the outline of the signature. I think this is you can see the condition of the surface of the canvas is all original. The thick paint, you can see the crackling. The signature is 100% right. I black lighted this, and it's all original. Nothing has been added, untouched, no in painting, no scraping, no nothing. It's all original. The next, turn the page, the next item is just showing the signature that was in the signature book. And so you can study that if you like. So I think it matches pretty much what I have on my painting. Next page is a combination of the image with a black light, where you can see the black light on it in the middle. And this painting is an abstract, and it was dated around in the 1950, 56, 57, maybe 59 at the most. He was dealing a little bit in abstract, unsuccessful, and I was told he had after a bad show, he had thrown some and used it as carpet on the floor. But this one, hopefully, had gotten away and ended up south, and here it is. But so this goes with that time, and he was not very successful. What this illustrates, in my opinion, with all the attention of the atomic blast and everything going on in the world, this is what he was showing us, an atomic blast. This one is the next page. It has more information where I had written about the signature to New York. You can read that if you like. A little bit larger painting of the mushroom cloud and the signature. The next page is a detail, close up of the painting to show the original condition, the thick paint, the impasto, the brush strokes. It's just a beautiful painting, and no in painting, no black light. Is absolutely perfect. Next item is a close up of his initial RFL, Roy Fox Lichtenstein. The next item is a copy of his signature that you can see is very light. The next item is a copy of his signature dated 1956. There's a reason I'm showing you these signatures, because I've got a story to tell you at the next painting. This is a signature dated 1953. This is a signature dated 1952. This is a drawing of a $10 bill done by Lichtenstein, and you can see in the right-hand corner next to the 10, the big round 10 there, the signature is there, but it has been in reverse. He was a character, and he thought it was funny. He would put his signature on that dollar bill in reverse. And underneath there, you will see it's very lightly, there's a signature by Roy Fox Lichtenstein, and it was number 18 of, I'm not sure how many he had here, but it's a numbered print. But it is interesting to note how he would do things like reverse the signature. I thought that was interesting. The next page, I'm going to just, for the record, show you some of his printing and his signature, and it's dated 1951. Next page is a close-up of his portrait, and he has his portrait in the style of Picasso. And I will show you later in the line of pictures here a picture of Picasso in the same pose in front of the canvas, and with that real stern look at him. So this is a very nice color print of the painting. The next is just a printing of what's on Portraits on Main to show how I listed on Portraits on Main in the under Trocadero website. This is a detail. The next turn page, this is a detail close-up of the right corner of the portrait painting. And it's dated 1956. It says self-portrait, and the signature is unlegible. So I'll have a breakdown on that as we continue. The next item is a close-up of the brush strokes, his hand, and holding it. I think we studied the hands on this one. This is a beautiful close-up of the portrait. The next page, you will see a invoice from Alfred Bader Fine Arts in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it shows that I paid $1,200 for the portrait. So there's a copy of that. I was able to track down. He told me, I said, "Where did you purchase this painting?" And he checked his records, and sure enough, he had attended an auction in Cleveland, Ohio, And so I was able to contact this Otto Shriver, and it was with Wolf Auctions in Cleveland, Ohio. Of all the towns for this painting to come out of, it was perfect to have the town of Cleveland because Roy Lichtenstein worked and lived there at this time. The painting was purchased from the auction gallery on May the 15th, 2000, and it doesn't tell me how much he paid for it. But that's a copy of that. Just for the record, this shows next page shows an early drawing, 1940, that Lichtenstein was thinking about a self-portrait. The next one it shows you in 1978, he didn't like self-portraits, and you can see he made himself a mirror image of his face. It was a question in Life magazine in January the 31st, 1964. There was an article written about Lichtenstein, and the article's name was, "Is He the Worst Artist in the U.S.?" And I thought this was nice to show you a copy of that. He was just getting started, but he was becoming famous then and going to very large paintings and doing more of the cartoon type paintings. Next one, it shows the Roy Lichtenstein retrospective at the National Gallery. I thought that was interesting, and I put a copy of that page in here. His most famous painting is, of course, the Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Look, Mickey, I've hooked a big one. That's his early on his sign with a RFL in the lower left-hand corner, and that is his most famous painting, and it's in the I think it's in the National Gallery. Yes, that's where it is. Next one is just a repeat of the two self-portraits. Next one on the next page, a very early photograph showing him as a young man. Next one is 1949. You notice his hand holding the paintbrush, and you look at his dark hair, and you can see if you think it looks like my portrait. This is a close-up in the late 40s, close-up photo of his face. The next item is not sure of the date, but you notice the hairstyle is similar to the one that he's wearing in the self-portrait. That's a close-up of his face. The next page is a detailed color photo for study showing a close-up. I believe that he, at this early in his career, he was not famous. He admired Picasso, and I think he painted the self-portrait to make him look like self-portrait. That's my opinion. The next one is a copy of the Van Gogh self-portrait showing the same layout that he decided to use in his self-portrait. And you can see how he copied but reversed it and put the canvas on the left side instead of the right, and then reverse the self-portrait. The next one is a copy of early photo and drawing of Picasso. You can judge from that to see if it was similar in your opinion. The next one, it shows a close-up of that reverse signature. I thought that was an interesting item to study. And the reason I did that is that he did a drawing of a plane in 1961. And on the side of the plane, he has lettering that looks Hebrew. And I've been able to take those letters and trace it back to the self-portrait. And in my opinion, that's the way it is, and that's how it is. So that shows you this was done in 1961. The portrait was done in 1956. So it shows this style of lettering that looks Hebrew was done by Lichtenstein. Just for the record, there's fingerprints on both the two paintings, the abstract and the self-portrait. Here's a copy of it. I personally matched them up. We'll have to have an expert to agree with me, but I matched them up. They matched on both paintings. This is one for the record showing the different images and a lineup of Lichtenstein. I thought you'd be interested in that. And the last photo here on the next page is a close-up of black and white of the portrait itself. And at the end, I had a Dr. Kaiser to invite me. I rented this machine, this XRF machine that could analyze the paint on art. So I had rented this machine for about $700 to analyze my art collection. And in addition, I was invited by Dr. Kaiser to Greenville, North Carolina, to study or have maybe two paintings gone over by the people of the Blackbeard Project there in Greenville, North Carolina. And it's the Queen Anne's Revenge Committee. They, about 10 or 15 of their researchers had my two paintings of the abstract and the self-portrait, and they analyzed the colors on both paintings while I was there. And at the end, and we're going to conclude this chapter here, at the end, you will find a study listed by Dr. Kaiser of the paint in the both paintings. The top painting with more the elements in it was the top painting and it shows the list of columns on the left, and then there's a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more elements on the right. Underneath that is the abstract painting. And at the end of the meeting, Dr. Kaiser, who is the inventor of that machine, and he's out of Washington State, he analyzed my altar painting, and he analyzed these two Lichtenstein paintings. And he looked at the painting, studied the computer numbers and how the elements lined up, and he made a statement. He said, Mr. Hill, he said, these two paintings, and he did not know the artist. Yeah, I didn't even tell him the artist's name. He said, these two abstract and self-portrait paintings have the same elements in it, except the self-portrait has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more elements in it in addition to it. And as you can see, the top list lines up with the bottom list, and with the top painting, which is a self-portrait, shows the extra elements on the right. So this is a confirmation. In his opinion, he said, Mr. Hill didn't know the artist. He said, these two paintings were done by the same artist. So I take him at his word. This, in my opinion, confirms the two paintings. I'm excited about it. Willing to put both these paintings untouched, no in painting, no repairs, no relining, fingerprints. They are right, in my opinion. So here they are. They're laid out for you to study. If you have any questions, let me know. But I feel real good about these two paintings. And thank you for your interest.